Well, after yesterday's poor start to the season, things had to change, and things have changed. We're on a very, very good run, and I think we should be winning the league this year. Still a long way to go. We're not top yet, but things are looking pretty good. Let's see if we can put ourselves in an unassailable position over the next few weeks. So, as I say, after a poor first game of the season and a rotated team against Tectonics in the Lega, it's been very good since then. In fact, we are unbeaten and we are sitting towards the end of, in fact, very near the end of November. And whilst we had a rather poor October in terms of a lot of draws, the fact that we are unbeaten in so long is very encouraging. We also have broken our record for the most consecutive clean sheets with 6. So things are going very, very well defensively. In fact, we haven't conceded 2 goals in a game since that Palermo game, which was disappointing. But bear in mind that they were late on as well. So hopefully things can continue to improve. And as you can see, there are a lot of players this season who are looking quite decent. We've got a much better squad this year, I think, than we have had before. I think this is probably the best squad I've had, in fact. We haven't really seen any kind of drop-off from last year in terms of the quality of the side. In fact, I think we've improved in many places. So that is really, really encouraging. And something, obviously, I will be hoping to increase and improve. January will be crucial in terms of trying to get the players in who can not only get us promoted, but hopefully actually get us to stay in the league in Serie B next year. As you can see, loads and loads of people who are doing really, really well. Castellucci actually has been dropping off a little bit in terms of his form because he started off like a house on fire in terms of getting goals. As you can see, since then, he's sort of dropped off a little bit. Palermo and Ternana, okay, well, he only played 16 minutes in that game and 75, so he had 90 minutes and didn't score. But after that, 1-3, nothing, 1, nothing, 1, nothing, just an assist, then 2 goals. So he's in pretty good form throughout the whole of this season. And hopefully it's something that he can continue because, as you can see, his ability is pretty good for this level and he should be able to get... I mean, I've always said 25 goals is what I need from a striker, and he looks to me like he's on target to get that. So this, I think, is the team we're going to go for today. We do also have Fleury as well, who is very good backup to Castellucci and has done a good job whenever we called on him. So that's obviously useful because it means that we're not going to miss Castellucci too much if he does get injured or if something else was to happen, if he was to drop his form or something. Another thing I think is helping with this team is that you can see in general, not so much with the defence, but the defence are clearly doing well enough. But generally, we've got quite a hard-working team that's willing to work for each other, and that seems to me to have been something that's perhaps a little bit better than the last time that we were at this level, and perhaps could be the thing that makes us contenders for the title rather than just the playoffs as we were for so many years the last time we were in this division. So today we are playing Campobasso. The only reason really why I've chosen to come back today is just because, well, I said November, but also I said I think the fact that we've gone 6 games in a row without conceding is something I wanted to mark. Obviously, if we can extend that record, that would be great, and that's something I will be trying to do. I probably will come back for the Palermo game, I think, so we'll have a little bit of a gap between the 2 games that we'll have today. We'll have Campobasso and the football derby. See if we can get a bit of a revenge for that first defeat of the season. And then I can have a quick chat about what I want to do over the transfer window and where I see the rest of this season going. But we need to try and make sure we win every game at least until then, because obviously Palermo are going to be one of the major rivals for that promotion, along with Frosinone and a couple of others as well. So we need to keep winning until then, and then hopefully I can come back for the second half of this video and show you a good, hard-fought win in a football derby that we really need to win to stand much of a chance, I think, of getting that title. So this, I think, is the team I'm going to go with today. As I say, Castellucci in very, very good form. So very pleased in the end that I did decide to get him back on loan. I did very heavily consider not doing it because I thought, is he really that good? But he's turned out to be better than I was expecting this year. Obviously, last year in Serie B, he found it a little bit harder. But that goes without saying, I suppose. And I think coming down to Serie C this year, he has perhaps found his level. Either that or, I mean, he's young enough that he could perhaps improve to the extent that in Serie B next year he could be a very, very effective weapon. We shall see. But for the moment, we need to try and win this game because, as you can see, it's tight at the top. We've done well, more than 2 points a game at the moment. But in a tight league, that's not necessarily going to be enough to get us that title that we want. My target this year is 84 points, which I calculated is the highest total that you could possibly need to win a league this year. In this division, the highest that anyone's got in second place has been 83. So hopefully that means that if we were to get 84, that should be enough to secure us the title. In reality, it probably won't be required to get quite 84, but that's my target. And if I can get that, I think there's a very, very good chance that we're going up automatically and back into Serie B, where I think we now belong. The fact that we started the season last year so well suggests that that really is true, that's probably the division we belong in for now. Good to see Frosinone is struggling a little bit against Monopoly, but we need to get the goal here as well. We haven't been particularly threatening yet. No actual highlights to speak of. In fact, no highlights at all. Here we are, the first one, and it's theirs. We defended it well, though. Wasn't much of a highlight. You can see it's very, very tight. A win, and we go possibly top. I can't remember what we obviously haven't lost to Frosinone. I can't remember what the result. We may not have played them yet. I'm not sure. Castellucci is there, but he can't quite finish on that occasion. Can't complain. He's had a good season in front of goal this year, but we do need to get a few more shots on target. Ready. He has. I've been retraining him to play on the left wing, and he has now become quite effective in that more withdrawn left wing position. So whilst he's not the natural that he is as a striker, he's good enough there that I think he's worth playing there. I don't really see him as good enough to be the striker, because that's such an important position in this side. Castellucci is doing a decent job there at the moment, and whilst I'm always on the lookout for an improvement, I think he's probably about as good as I can expect at the moment. And whilst Reddy is good and could do a decent job there, he's not quite the Castellucci level, but good enough, I think, to do a job on that left-hand side, which perhaps is not as important as other positions in the team. But we haven't created a lot in this game. Can we create something now? Zanoli. Roller crosses. Roller tries again, crosses again, and saved by Avogadri. If we were to go ahead shortly, we will be one of 4 teams on 35 points as it stands. Zara shoots, and we have done that. Great goal from Zara. Bit lucky, I think. It's one of those goals that will go miles over the bar or hit a first defender 9 times out of 10 or more. And we are now the leading, in fact, team on 35 points. Thinking about it, that can't be right, because Palermo are definitely ahead of us because they beat us. Castellucci's through. Castellucci scores 2-0. That's more like it. Second half, we've shown our true quality, and Frosinone have gone ahead, so that means that Palermo are now ahead of us. It may well be that it was a 3-way thing, and that was why we were top of the league before, I think. Di Marco crosses it in, and Roller heads it wide, but it doesn't really matter at this stage. I think this game is, if not quite tied up, then very nearly so. Bring on Lacti. Just wait a few seconds and give the other right back a rest. Yes, I did have a momentary lapse of memory. Can't remember his name. Palermo can come on the left wing, and Roller can make way for Shoes Off. Good win, this. Takes us back on course in terms of the amount of points I need to be getting at this stage of the season. 35 is exactly where I should be, and that is, assuming we do win this, which looks very likely now, that is exactly where we will be. And we can bring off Di Marco now for Mattioli. Run out for a few minutes, and a nice routine win. And Frosinone have managed to keep their position on the top of the table, but we are very much keeping up the pressure in that little chasing pack behind them on 35 points, and we've opened up a pretty big gap now on that 5th place team. So one thing's for certain, we will be in the latter rounds of the playoffs at the very least, although I think 4th place perhaps only go into the first round, or possibly second, I can't remember. Didn't have to worry about that last season, of course. A nice, efficient win there. As you can see, another clean sheet, which means that we are extending that club record of the most clean sheets we've ever kept in a row, and we're doing really well with that. It's good to see that defence is showing what they're made of here. Colucci really showing that he is the kind of player that he should have been, even in Serie B, I think. He was so good when the year we got promoted. Not been quite as good again this year, but that might be something to do with the fact that he hasn't scored as many goals, and I don't really care as much about that. So I will be back for the football derby, hopefully with 3 more wins to report on and maybe 3 more clean sheets. And if I do manage 3 more wins, I would be very surprised if I wasn't top of the league. It is, of course, possible, but I'd be surprised. So I'll see you in a second. Before we get to the football match, I just want to get this on record. Excellent intake. Centre midfielders, attacking midfielders, centre backs and strikers. It better be true this time, that's all I can say. It really better be true. Right, and here we are back again. 3 games have gone. As you can see, a couple of things, but that winning run did come to an end in the next game with a 0-0 draw with Trapani. And then we've lost our streak of clean sheets against Messina, despite the fact that we've won. We are still unbeaten since the opening day. So things are looking pretty good. And certainly I would have taken this at the start of the season without doubt. We're still 2 points behind Frosinone, but 2 points ahead of Palermo. And of course, today we are playing Palermo in the second football derby of the season. I think if we win this, we're probably looking at first or second. That's my feeling, given our form this season and how well we've been playing. We should be able to win the league this year, I think. I do feel like it's on, particularly if we can get a couple of really, really good players to kind of... What I want to do in the January transfer window is just find a couple of players who will be really good players for me in Serie B to just make absolutely certain of the promotion this year and hopefully to push us to maybe a mid-table finish next year. I think that's probably my aim. I don't really see us getting promoted again, even though we have had this extra couple of years. So today we are without Mancuso, which is a shame. And I think that means we're going to have to go with... We could play Lacti there. I don't think I've ever played him there, though, so I'm not sure that would be the best thing. I think I'll go with Brambilla. And Riella has got a red card in the last game, which bit of a occupational hazard with Riella because he's just that kind of player. We know he's very aggressive, too aggressive probably, and that has cost us for this game, certainly. But Castellucci keeps scoring his goals. He's got 12 now in 16, which is pretty good. It's certainly on course for that 25-ish goals that we were hoping he might get. But it's good to see as well that getting goals chipping in from midfield as well. Less so from the wings, but that's all right. And hopefully we can keep this form going a little bit longer. Today, big game, of course, against our local rivals. Competitively as well as geographically, though, because this is obviously a case of second versus third. And we need to kind of not quite knock them out of the title race, but it wouldn't be far off, I don't think. Rolla comes forward, crosses the ball in, and doesn't quite manage to find Castellucci. Ready. Finds Bro, and back to DiMarco. Zanoli picks up the loose ball. Bro finds Rolla, but he can't quite find the shot. Looking promising, though. We've had all the possession so far, certainly all the attacking possession. Rolla gets to the byline, crosses it in, and saved easily by the keeper. Bro to Zara. Ready, finds Castellucci, who has a shot, which is a bit unnecessary, really. And a promising position, just ends up in the corner. To be fair, I didn't realise he'd saved it. Makes it a little bit more acceptable, I suppose, but I still think it was an unnecessary shot. It was unlikely to be successful. It would be a shame if after dominating the most of this half, we were to concede before half-time now. Had by far the better of it, although they've now already overtaken us on XG just with those 2 shots. I don't think either of them were actually highlights, but just shows that the shots that we've been having haven't been the best shots. We need to create better chances than this. They seem to be motivated when I told them that the shooting isn't quite good enough. It's actually more the build-up play, really. We need to be getting better chances rather than taking better shots. Bro is going to get booked there, I think. No, maybe not. And Tordini saved by Drago. Ivanovski with the cross, and we've managed to clear it. Brambilla takes it away. No point really having a halfback, though, if there's no one further up the field to pass to, and we didn't really have anyone there. This wouldn't be a bad result, but it'd be nice to get a win here. Top 4 all playing each other, I've noticed, with Frosinone playing Cosenza. That's interesting. Maybe Cosenza can take some points off Frosinone. Castellucci. Brambilla finds Ready. Lovely half-back ball there. Crosses over. Zanoli. Bro. Zanoli. Back to Bro. Back to Zanoli. Crosses over and Ready is there but can't quite convert. It's odd having 2 players starting with the letter Z. I'm not sure if I've ever had a football manager team where 2 players began with Z before. Right, time for a couple of changes. We're going to have Palermo come on, and I'm going to bring on Fleri up front, or no, Teresi, I think. And replace Ready with Delfini. Let's see how that does for us. Frosinone are drawing, so this would be a stay as you are kind of result, but it does mean that it would be a missed opportunity. If we could get a win, this would be the moment where we can steal a march on the people we're fighting against. Right, DiMarco's not having the best of games, so Mattioli's going to come on. He can play there, just about. And we're going to bring on Lacti for Zanoli. Last of the 5 substitutions we can make in this league. It's a luxury that I need to not get too used to, because I'm hoping I won't have it next year. We are sprinting towards full time here. Can we create one more chance in what has been a game of few of them, to be honest? Teresi crosses and first defender, unfortunately. Got 5 bookings, which is not ideal. And that, I think, is going to be all she wrote. It is indeed. As I say, it's not a disaster, but it would have been a very, very nice time to get a good win. And it looks like Frosinone have got a late winner. Yeah, they have. So 4 points the gap now, and that's a bit of a worry. We do want to make sure that we don't have to face those playoffs this year. I really, really don't want to do that. Given all the struggles we had getting up the first time, and it may be that we'll do what we did the last time we were in those playoffs. But yeah, at the moment it just feels like this would be leaving too much to chance, really, if we were to finish 2nd or 3rd this year. So we do need to start getting some big wins and a big run of wins, really. Unbeaten since the first day, but too many draws, particularly that draw fest in October, has really, really cut us down to size. You think you convert a couple of those into wins, and we're top of the league now. Because Frosinone, we beat them 4-0. So the chances are we're going to have a better head-to-head record than them. But there's still a long way to go in terms of making sure we catch them on points. The next few games are all fairly winnable. Monopoly is the hardest one, but we're quite a long way ahead of them. You would think that that's a game that we could win. Next time we're playing one of the top 4 is Cosenza in February, and I think that will probably be our next game. So I'm thinking maybe the Cosenza and the Vibonese game, and then we will see where we go from there. But hopefully we can keep this run going. Get 4 wins would be really nice, certainly at least 3, and come back for that Cosenza game and celebrate the fact that we maybe by then might be top of the league. Might not be, of course. I keep saying that, but we've had a really good run in the last couple of months, and we're not top of the league. So we've got to keep going. We conceded 1 goal in 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. So clearly we are a decent side at this level. Well, more than decent. We're a good side at this level, and we just need to keep it going. So join us tomorrow in what hopefully will be I think the next video could well be the crucial one in terms of securing that title if we are going to do so. Because if we win the next 4 games and then get a couple of wins in that next video, I think we could well be there, or at least in a very, very good position to get it. I will obviously be bringing you news of the transfer window, where I hope to bring in a couple of players. I think it's best if I just leave it right to the end, so I don't leave any out, and you can see all the business we do before we play that Cosenza game, obviously, which will be the first game after the transfer window anyway. So it's good timing in that sense. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good evening, and see you later. Bye for now.